Well, 6 weeks ago, you didn't know where the All-Star game was being played. Now you find out you're going to Cleveland. How does it feel?
It's indescribable. I mean, it just something that wasn't on my mind for so long, really. I mean, it was just the beginning of the season was just about getting back to the big leagues, being able to prove yourself and kind of prove yourself to the team, let them know that you can be out there every fifth game, getting back after it. I've strung a few together at the beginning of the year, and then there's rumblings and all that kind of stuff, but you kind of put that out of your mind because it's so far away. So to get that call when we were in there, Snit gave us all the news in the clubhouse, and to be able to share it with all these guys that have been there with me and are ultimately the reason that I'm there. I wouldn't be there without tons of good plays behind me, bullpen coming in, taking out some inherited runners as well, and then also Mac and Flo behind the plate. I've learned from all of them. I've gotten to be able to compete with all of them, and like I said, ultimately wouldn't be here without them.
Was there any way you could prepare for the emotions of what that was going to feel like when you got that news?
No, and honestly, I was trying to kind of downplay it to myself because I didn't want. There's always a chance that it doesn't happen. There's so much good talent around the league, and obviously missing a few games at the beginning of the year wouldn't have been out of the question. And that's where I think that obviously you really want that, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, then you still got your next start to prepare for, and ultimately to have the biggest accomplishment at the end of the year, and that's win a World Series. So, I hadn't really prepared for it because I didn't want to think about it. And when it happened, it just it hit me.
How rewarding has the consistency you've been able to provide at such a young age been for you personally?
It's been awesome for confidence, obviously, and also understanding the ups and downs of confidence. It's easy to get really high and it's easy to get really low in this game. And I think just finding that kind of happy medium to be able to nip things when they're going down and to keep things down when they're really going up. So, that's obviously not always what's going to happen. You're expecting bumps. You expect things to be tough. This is the big leagues. It's as good as it gets. It's not always going to be sweet rides out there every fifth day. So, just to be able to go out there and compete and be healthy was all I really asked for and out of myself. And to be doing what I have is it's unbelievable. And like I said, it's thanks to a lot of guys to keep me level-headed in here and just compete for the team.
What's it mean to share the experience not only with Freddie and Ronald, but your skipper as well?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing to be able to get the tips and advice from Freddie. He's been there a few times, and then also to share for the first time with Ronnie, and then also Snit. Snit and I were both talking about we're going to be throwing water in Ronald's face in the home run derby and all that kind of stuff. And those are the experiences that are going to last a lifetime and memories that you cherish forever. So, it just brings us that much closer, and hopefully guys that you get to play with for a long, long time.
The youngest Braves pitcher to be an All-Star. This franchise has had a lot of good pitching. What does that mean to you?
Like I said, it's something that's age has always been kind of a question coming up. The youngest to do something, and Ronnie and Albie, same thing. They fall into that category, and I think a lot of watching them, honestly, just understanding that it can be done, and to not put limitations on things just because you're a little younger. To not use it as an excuse either. It's easy to go out there and say, oh, you're only 20 years old and you're in the big leagues, and failure is okay. It's going to happen, but to be able to move on, that's where I think we've all done a really good job of learning from each other, and having that distinction, I guess, is pretty cool. But at the end of the day, it's what means the most to me is to be able to get out there and compete for the guys.
How much, this is the individual thing, obviously, but it's happened in the context of this is a really good team playing really well. So how much does that add to the fact that, I guess, does it make it easier to feel good about individually because it's helped the larger picture thing with the team?
Yeah, I guess so. It's definitely rewarding. Like I said, when you get that offense, you get that 2-run lead right away. It's rewarding to be able to go out there and get them back in the dugout. And so obviously it's a lot easier to celebrate individual the team's also accomplished. And like I said, the goal for all of us at the end of the year is to be competing for the World Series ring. That's always goal number one, and I think we've kept that as a focus, and we've done a great job of celebrating individual things. Markakis and Max 1000th RBIs, and a lot of those things that you can really look back and say wow, and then feel amazing for them, and it brings us closer, and it truly is an amazing team.